I recently saw Monkey Man, and I thought it was a great time. When I first saw the trailer for the movie, I thought it was going to be a John Wick inspired movie, you know, a revenge story. Action also reminded me a lot of John Wick, but coming out of the theater, it was anything but John Wick. Don't get me wrong, it still had some elements, and you can tell, like, at least with the action, that it is very much inspired by John Wick. But the movie is so much more than just a John Wick type movie. For example, the movie's story, the overall narrative, is very intriguing. They take what could have been a very basic revenge plot and put kind of a unique spin on it. A spin that kind of feels very supernatural, if I want to say. For example, our main character is very complex. Like, we start the movie off barely knowing much about him, but the further we get in the movie, the more we learn about the character, the more we learn about him. And while that seems like a very basic storytelling choice, the directing style that's used to present that story is very unique, unlike anything I've seen before. This movie is not afraid to be weird. It almost reminds me of the Speed Racer movie and how weird the editing is. And that goes along with the fight scenes too. The fight scenes, they are a mess at the start. Everything is very shaky, everything's very wobbly, the camera is going all over the place. It can sometimes leave you very sick. But as the movie progresses and our main character progresses in his fighting style and kind of hones in on his skills, the more focused the camera becomes before the end of the movie, where it basically feels like the John Wick that everyone thought it was going to be. You know, a way more focused camera to our main protagonist, which is very much appreciated. I also appreciate the fact that this story isn't afraid to get dark. It isn't afraid to explore those darker elements. And I also appreciate that our main villain in this story is just a unredeemable prick. Seriously, if you do not hate this guy at the start of the movie, you're going to hate him by the end, and you're going to be cheering for our main protagonist to kill this guy. And I am all for that. I usually don't mind a villain that we can sympathize with, but I also don't mind a villain that I can just straight up despise. I think one of my biggest issues with the movie, however, is just the fact that it's a very show don't tell movie, which I can appreciate most of the time. I think most of the time that works in its favor, but sometimes when there's things that I think needs a little more clarification, it doesn't really clarify, and it kind of makes it feel a bit confusing. Still though, I think this movie is fantastic, and I have nothing but the utmost praise for it, and I highly recommend it. It's now available for purchase, so if you want to buy it and watch it yourself, then I highly recommend it. You won't regret it. I don't think everyone will like it. However, if anything in my review makes you want to go see this film, I recommend it. I recommend it to literally anyone who likes weird and awesome action movies. This movie was fantastic, and I cannot wait to watch it again. Yeah, that's basically all I can say about it. I will give Monkey Man a 8.5 out of 10.